Hi, today I'd like to talk about solving quadratic equations. Now, quadratic equations are equation where you have something in the form of x squared plus ax plus b, or something to that effect. Okay, so now if I want to solve quadratic equations, I can use the quadratic formula, or I can use the completing the squares method. Now, the completing the square method, it's based on the premise that if we have, let's say, an x plus a and I square that, I will get x squared plus ax, that's plus 2ax plus a squared, and I'll keep that in mind. Okay, so whenever I'm going to solve something, I'm going to put it make sure that the format on one side of the equation is going to be in that form. Okay, so let's say I need to solve, let's see, x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Okay, now I know right off the bat that it's going to be x minus 3 equals 0, or x minus 2 equals 0, which means x is equal to 3 or x is equal to 2. But let's go ahead and go through the process and see how this works. Okay, so I'm going to say x squared minus 5x, I'm going to minus 6 from both sides, is equal to minus 6. Okay, so now I'm going to add something to this to put it in that form. Okay, so what will I do? Okay, I know that it's x squared minus 2ax plus a squared. So in this case, I know that the negative 5 is going to be the 2a. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to take the negative 5 and divide it by 2, okay, which will give me whatever that a is, and then I'm going to square it. So I'm going to put plus minus 5 over 2 squared. And negative 5 over 2 squared is the same as 25 divided by 4. So now, because it's in this format, I know it's now x minus 5 over 2 squared. Okay, so x minus 5 divided by 2 squared is equal to 25 over 4 minus 6 times 4, that's 24, so that's 25 minus 24 divided by 4. So x minus 5 over 2 squared is equal to 1 over 4. So x minus 5 over 2 is equal to plus or minus 1 over 2. So x is equal to 5 plus 1 over 2, or 5 minus 1 over 2. So 5 plus 1 over 2, that's 6 over 2, which is 3. And as I said, x is equal to 3. 5 minus 1 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. X minus 2 is 0. So we know then that this will get you the correct answer. So now let's look at a different equation and use this method and see what we get. So let's say we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to put it in this format up here. Okay, so what I need to do, I need to get rid of the coefficient in front of that x squared there. So to do that, I'm going to divide by a. So it's going to say x squared plus b over a x plus c over a equals 0. Again, now I'm going to put this over to the other side of the equation. So it's going to imply that x squared plus b over a x is equal to minus c over a. So now I know that b over a x is kind of like in the form of 2ax. So if I want to go from here to here, what I will do is I will take half of this and then square it. Okay, so plus, okay, b over 2a squared, and that's going to be plus b squared over 4a squared. Okay, so now it's going to be x plus b over 2a squared is equal to, I'm going to call that 4a squared at the bottom, that's b squared, and that's going to be, okay, to get this over 4a squared is going to be minus 4ac over 4a squared. Okay, so now to get the square root of that, it's going to be x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And now if I minus b over 2a from both sides, I will get x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now that, when we went through that, gave us the quadratic formula, which is good because completing the squares, not only can you solve a problem, is that it involves little or no memorization, and if you're asked to solve it using the quadratic formula, well, now you don't have to memorize the quadratic formula because you can use this to figure out the quadratic formula. Anyway, I would like to thank you very much for watching.